The room is mostly quiet by the time I go downstairs. Faye and Delora are talking to each other at the table. Farmer passes me by as I walk downstairs. He looks exhausted and oddly frustrated. Make my way over to Anise, who's already putting bottles on the shelves. Princess, are you okay now? I'm fine. Now, what do you need me to do? Anise explains how restocking works. He shows me the labels on the shelves and explains the empty spots of where the new bottles go. It's not a hard job, and one I can easily do without thinking too hard. For a while, the only sounds that can be heard in the marsh are the bottles clinking against each other. Underneath that is the murmuring between Parfait and Delora. I have no idea what they're talking about, but they look serious, so it must be something important. So Princess, can I ask what life was like at the palace? Right. You gotta remember working in the past before. I don't mean to pry. I was just trying to make conversation. Or rather not. Okay. Eventually, Parfait and Delora stand from their seats and move to another room to continue their conversation. Anise breaks the silence again. The tavern is nice when it's quiet like this, isn't it? You can hear the sounds outside if you open a window. My hands move stiffly, placing bottles on shelves by label. All I want to do is get the work done and then return to my room. It was like this at the old place that I used to work. I was hired by a rich family to be their maid. Their mansion was a beautiful place. You could hear the crickets if you were by the windows on the bottom floor. It seems like her memory has been twisted by my curse, so she cannot remember working at the palace. All she remembers is working for a rich family. Interesting, I think we're learning a little bit about Anise, though. We don't really learn much about her in the other routes. It was a nice place, Princess. There was a girl close to my age that had a radiant smile. Radiant smile. You must be talking about Emmeline. The head of the mansion is really kind man, and the girl is suddenly quiet, a look of confusion coming to her face. She pauses and then shakes her head. I can't seem to remember everyone that was there, but I'm pretty sure that they were all good people. At least, I like to think so. I was just a bad maid. She was. Because of her, Delora's dress was torn. I was too ashamed to tell one of the mistresses that I couldn't save her doll. Save her doll? Anise looks down, her smile wistful. I was fired on my first day because I couldn't save one of the mistress's dolls. I was the one cleaning her shelves that day, and when I went in I saw a crow had come in through the open window and was pecking one of the dolls. I shooed it away, but it was too late. The doll had a little rip in its dress. I was fired for not doing my job properly. Interesting. And of course, Delora was the witch we know now, so, that's probably why she was hired here, because Delora knew what happened. So, it wasn't Anise who ripped Delora's dress, but a bird? Is this why Delora insisted Anise deserved an apology? What happened after you were fired? Well, Lady Parfait found me on the streets. I couldn't go back to my aunt's house, not after what happened. She never liked me anyway. Anise's face clouds briefly with sorrow, but the expression is short-lived. I can never forget the day I met Lady Parfait. I told her I would be able to help her and anyone else that got sick. That I can even do all the cooking since I've been making meals for my father since I was a young girl. I begged her to take me in and she did. I owe Lady Parfait a lot. Again, probably Delora told Lady Parfait to look out for, Anise. Why did you go back to your father after you were fired? My father passed away a while ago. My mother died giving birth to me. Very, very tragic. He's very tragic. He's a very tragic girl. My father was an herbalist. Herbalist? And he taught me a lot while he was still with me. So before Rumpel came in, I helped Lady Parfait with herbal remedies. So you have no one. That's what I thought, but now I have one here. The Martian is my family now. Family. Princess, we're all happy to have you here too. You really help out around the Martian. I can tell Rumpel is happy to have you as a partner. The memory of what happened today slowly seeps back to my mind. I cannot help the irritation bubbling up inside of me. I know he's a little overwhelming, but I'm pretty sure Rumpel is really just trying to help you, just like he's helping Lady Parfait. Not the same thing at all. The two of us continue working until Anise makes another wistful comment. The place I worked before this. It felt like there was a warmth in that gigantic home, but it was stifled. That place isn't warm at all. I speak the words without me even meaning to. Anise looks up at me curiously. The king suddenly started speaking to me when mother died, but it was never enough. Before that, he was cold and distant. Even now, he favors his new wife and children over me. The same old story, you know. There were people, but they all wore fake smiles. And my father, he was the worst of all. I may as well never existed to him. Princess, I'm sorry. For what? You're talking about the palace, right? The king always seemed so nice. He put his kingdom before his children. Anise fidgets nervously. I'm sorry. Apologies are not going to change the past. Sometimes apologizing seems all we can do when we can't change something that's already happened. I think about Anise. She tried to save my doll, the way I fired her that day. Rumpel told me once that all I had to do was listen to people who sympathize with them. That'd also be true for finding out the truth. All I can do to make up for what I did to her is remain silent. I don't know. God damn it. You know, I kind of, ironically, I wanted to get the bad end of Rumpel first because I initially don't like him, but I can't help but do the right thing. Oh no, I have to. I can't, you know, I have to say sorry to Anise. Come on. Gotta do it. I'm sorry. Anise looks at me, clearly shocked. She stares for a few moments before I scowl at her. Staring is rude. Oh, I was just... Why are you apologizing to me, princess? It is for something I did to you that you wouldn't remember. That I wouldn't remember? You should tell me. I promise I wouldn't hold it against you. It is not important. Anise's eyes are suddenly downcast, and no matter the attempt, her smile isn't as bright as it once was. I quickly finish stacking the bottles on the shelves. I'm done. Anise turns to look at me with an unusually tired expression on her face. Well, thank you for listening to me, princess, and for telling me a little bit about yourself, too. I feel like I might have said too much. I do not respond to Anise, but instead I choose to head out the front door. Anise asks where I'm going, but I just ignore her. I think about heading to town, but then I reconsider. I decide to head to the forest instead. Okay, just going to the forest? By myself? Alone? I make my way to the forest clearing. In the dark, everything feels a lot more comfortable. Yes, in the dark. Yes, the comforting dark. The light is too bright. We just live in the darkness. It's fine. Here I do not have to pretend to listen to anyone, and I do not have to talk about myself. I settle down on the rock and stare up at the sky. I apologize, but Anise did not even understand my apology. Even now, I cannot bring myself to trust those in the Martian. I sigh and find myself speaking aloud. Maybe I am the Ice Princess. But have you seen the beautiful sculptures that can be made from ice, Princess? I turn to see Rumpel walking towards me, a broad grin on his face. Ice always sparkles in the sun. It glistens and stands so proudly where it's been sculpted. I stare at Rumpel blankly. He sighs and shakes his head. I'm sorry, that one was particularly bad, wasn't it? He sits down beside me, his grin falters a little bit. I have no white lilies to give you this time, my sweet princess, but I will offer anything else you would need of me to apologize for my advice earlier today. I can offer anything. My words, my body. I cut Rumpel off as if I'm not in the mood for his usual behavior. You are always like this. All you ever do is flirt. Any meaningful thing you try to say is lost in the flattery you constantly give to people. It's shallow. I kinda agree, it is. You're right. What? I stare at him. Rumpel is still smiling, but is not the same confident grin he wore earlier. Somewhere deep in my memories, I remember someone telling me off just like this. Many people enjoy flattery, princess, and a lot of people are receptive to flirting. But nothing can measure up to a genuine compliment. Yeah, I guess that's what I was referring to before. But I stand by what I said before, that making a person happy is a good deed. Look, I'll show you. Rumpel shifts so that he's looking right at me, and I notice that his smile is gone. Lucette, of all the women I've met, you're the most straightforward and honest. Many do not have the courage or the confidence to exhibit those qualities. And that's why I admire you, and why I always take your words to heart, because I know you will always speak the truth. I look into Rumpel's eyes, which still have a gentle shimmer despite the darkness. For a few moments, his words float around in my head. No one has ever called my bluntness honesty before, and no one has ever complimented me for it. Rumpel told me before that I deserve to be spoiled. Maybe it's because he sees the things I do in a more positive light. My, you're struck speechless by that, aren't you? You look cute with your cheeks so rosy, my sweet princess. I glare at him and Rumpel just laughs in response. I put a hand to my cheek, suddenly self-conscious. Rumpel smiles at me, but it's not the usual playful smile. Right now, he almost looks serious. Did he mean what he just said? You know what Lucette will do? She'll probably tell him off. I mean... Yeah, we're gonna tell him off. Why did you have to be so dramatic when you gave me that compliment? I was dramatic. I cross my arms and Rumpel grins at me. I can't help it, princess. I am dramatic by nature. A compliment is, in some ways, a performance. So you did not mean what you said? No, I did. I swear I did. I was trying to show you how making a person happy could be a good deed. Complimenting a person's appearances is easier than complimenting them on their demeanor. You have to know a person for that. I meant what I said, princess, and I swear that wasn't just me trying to weave a spectacular words together. Earlier, I bet you made Anise happy too. You were spying on a conversation. I would never. I just happened to be making my way down the stairs very slowly. Okay. You don't even know what I was apologizing for. No, but you thought you had to after you listened to her, didn't you? I listen far more than you do. Princess, you shattered my heart so many times there are permanent cracks. But do not worry, the cracks in my heart allow even more of you to make your way into it. Rumpel awkwardly laughs when I remain silent. Anyway, there are different kinds of listening, princess. Listening to sympathize is one kind. Trying to put yourself in someone's shoes, trying to understand them. That is one of those ways. Then there's the kind of listening that is shallow. One pretends to listen without ever letting the words into their heart. Words are fickle things. Mother always told me that people lie, that they always say whatever benefited them. It is foolish to trust words. What if Anise had been lying to me? Why would I put so much blind faith in people? Because, more often than not, people are good, princess. I let out an exasperated sigh. Sometimes I cannot tell if I'm angry or confused by Rumpel. What a beautiful sound. It was as if the sweet wind itself was gently tickling my ear. I slide away from him and scowl. Your scowl was adorable too, and you have such delicate lips. Right. I'm still convinced that his earlier compliment was just a lie. How can he say something so genuine and then slide right back into his pitiful flattery? For a moment, silence falls, and I find to my surprise that it's not awkward being alone with Rumpel. Will you accept my apology for earlier? I promise I'll never try to get you to flirt with anyone ever again. Besides, if you flirted with another man and then grew fond of him, I would be devastated. That would never happen. You didn't let me finish. I was going to say that I would be devastated because that would mean that your heart belongs to someone else and... My heart belongs to no one. I will steal it, like a thief in the night. That will also never happen, even though it will totally happen because this is the Rumpel route, so, I mean... You can't deny fate. If not that, then I'll settle with making you smile, at least once. Because I'm sure you will shine as brightly as the sun if you smiled. You are unreasonably persistent. Love is a persistent endeavor, princess. A man in love stops at nothing to win over the woman that he so adores. Then you must be in love with many women. I stand up. I would appreciate you just complimenting me when you mean it. A princess, I mean every one of my compliments. I have no energy to chastise him right now, but at least I no longer have that anger inside from earlier. It's been a long day. I'm going to bed. Would you like company? No. I didn't mean... Good night, Rumpel. Good night, Princess Lucette. I make my way back to the tavern, feeling surprisingly light. Still, even if Rumpel's words might make me happier than I care to admit, he's not doing a very good job of helping me with my curse. I might have to do this on my own after all. I was warming up to them, and again, ironically, I keep getting the right decision. Even though sometimes I don't want to, but I can't help it. I guess it's just inevitable. What a brilliant day! The sun is shining, the town is full of laughter, and I have my sweet princess here to accompany me. I cannot help but groan at Rumpel's optimism, because we're both sent out to run errands. Because everyone thinks we make a wonderful couple. No, because we're partners. Partners, a couple, may as well be the same thing. Half of the time, Rumpel says some deep things, but then he says things like that. Like he has two personalities. No, it's not the same thing at all. I take out the list and scour it for the things we need to buy. More than half of it is already crossed out. I glance at the bags Rumpel is carrying. He refuses to let me carry any of them, insisting that it would be impolite to force the load on me. Well, that leaves me with this duty. It's more laid back than what I had to do at the Martian. Okay, now we have the general medicine restocked by Anise. My area of expertise. Never fear, my sweet princess, I will find everything we need. We already have on this. Rumpel just hums enthusiastically as he continues on our way, or as we continue on our way, and I'm not entirely sure if he heard me or not. We arrive at the little medicine shop at the Central Plaza. A man exits through the front door, coughing so loudly people turn their head to stare at him. Oh, I wait for the man to pass so that I can open the door to the store, but then I notice that Rumpel hasn't budged beside me at all. His eyes do a quick scan of the man before he slowly begins to walk toward him. Sir, you're sick. Yeah, what's it to you? Even if I was sick, lad, nothing I can do because I don't have any money. It's not like something that will kill me, it's just a cough. How long have you had this cough, sir? It seems like such a minor thing, but Rumpel suddenly looks so serious about it. He looks at the man with his eyes slightly narrowed, as if trying to see past him. It's been with me for more than 3 days. Oh, coughs are pesky things, aren't they? They're usually the last thing to go, but at least they're not deadly most of the time. Even if you can't buy the medicine, sir, there are other at-home remedies that might help with your cough. Boy, I've already tried warm tea. My wife's given me enough of that. Water is good for your throat too, sir. Any kind of steam works too. If the cough is riddled with mucus, it'll be easier to expel with steam. When you can't afford the medicine, sometimes the simple things will help, and coughs stay for a while, so don't fret if you can't rid of yours immediately. Well, I appreciate the advice. Not exactly what a doctor would tell me, but it'll have to do. Ironic, because I am a doctor. Anyway, the man thanks Rumpel before walking off. I notice Rumpel looking down the ground, a rather forlorn expression on his face. Is what he said true? About what, princess? About doctors not giving advice about at-home remedies? Well, most of the doctors don't believe in such things. They always think that medicines work better than at-home or herbal remedies. The medicines do help, but sometimes they aren't necessary. Yet you just gave them advice. Not everyone can afford medicine. Being a doctor means helping people, not taking advantage of their sickness to steal their money. You know, ironic, because sometimes it's the other way around, you know, because some doctors, or quote-unquote doctors, you know, try to give people herbal remedies that don't actually help their illness. So, you know, either way, you know, not always the best to give, or I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's like, you know, I mean, I guess what Rumpel saying is true though. Like, either way, whether you're not giving like a modern medicine or you're giving, you know, at-home remedies, being a doctor, you know, means not taking advantage of them. You know, you gotta like really understand. Like, is this good for you? You know, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes. Guess that's kind of the moral dilemma that doctors have sometimes. I don't know. Money was never really a problem at the palace. Whenever I was sick, the palace staff made sure I had the best and most effective medicines. Do you remember what you were like as a doctor? I wanted to help everyone that showed up on my doorstep, but sometimes I couldn't, and it frustrated me. I prescribed medicines when necessary, get advice other times, and when things were dire, I performed small operations. He seems a lot more serious when he was talking about health. Rumpel was silent for a few moments before his eyes lit up once again. Anyway, shall we go stock up on our medicine? I thought you said medicine wasn't always helpful. Oh, because it's not, but I also know that Anise usually uses mostly herbs and that she tries to handle things without too much medication. She's quite capable. We enter the shop and in no time at all, Rumpel spots the items on our list. We use up the rest of our money and to buy the medicines and the remedies that we need, and then we begin to head back to the tavern. And also in the world of magic, I don't know, and then again, because I'm thinking like in the world of magic, you know, the medicine, actual like science, you know, might not be as effective as actual like literal magic, you know, actual like potions might be as effective, like magic potions, right? Because obviously in real life we don't have that magic. I wonder though, but then again, only the really like the witch doctor, you know, they did say that the witch doctor is really the only one with like magical healing powers, so I don't know. Anyway. On the way there, Rumpel strikes up a conversation again. So, princess, have you any thought to what I said before? About what? You've already forgotten about making people happy. What? You know, you can make me happy right here and now by giving me a kiss on the cheek. I stare blankly at him before walking away. No thank you. Alas, my hopes are dashed again. When we were at the outskirts of town, I pause and turn around. It is as if I can feel the eyes on my back, but I do not see anyone openly staring at me. Is someone watching me? Suddenly, I feel warmth in my hand, then fingers interlace through mine. Rumpel has pulls me a little closer, his expression oddly gentle. Hand holding, what are you doing? Don't worry, my sweet princess, you're safe with me. Suddenly, his face is a lot closer to mine, and I can see his features more closely. He's like the night in the forest, except his face is not marred by the same shadows. There's caution in his eyes, but it's not directed at me. Did you see someone following you? No, I just thought I felt someone looking at me. Better stay together then. Okay. Begin walking again. The two of us begin to head back to the Martian. Rumpel has all the bags in one hand now. He hums a little bit as we walk. It is remarkably peaceful, so much so that I don't even mind him holding my hand. It's very so lewd though. Lewd! It suddenly feels a lot safer. I'm so lost in reverie that I do not even notice when we turn and go in the opposite direction. Oh, where are we going? This is not the way back to the Martian. On the contrary, it's just a more scenic path. Don't you like the forest, princess? The shafts of light coming through the canopies, the soft blades of grass that tickle your ankles. It is such a romantic place. No matter what he says, this does not lead back to the Martian. It's not a scenic path or a path at all. How about no? How about no? I want to go back home. Stop it. I instantly root myself in place, and even though Rumpel is far taller than me and far stronger, he stops after noticing that I'm no longer walking. Oh, princess? Did you want to stop and admire the scenery? Why are you taking me through here? I do not care about scenery, and I do not care about walking anywhere with you. Ah, princess. Your honesty really is a treasure. One day I will make it so you enjoy going places with me, not just holding my hand. I quickly slide my hand out of his, my face feeling somewhat hot. Ah, there's the sweet rosiness to your cheeks. You never answered my question. It's a detour. We're only going to be in here for a few minutes. If you thought you saw someone's eyes on you, it's better to divert their attention away from the Martian. And before you say it's dangerous, yes, it is. We're still not far enough away from town to worry about safety. And I believe I can protect you. Won't you compliment my cleverness, sweet princess? You know, ironically, every time, like, when we have a choice to not be taken up by his pace, We do the opposite, we actually get points with him, so I don't know. It's like every time. Just accidentally do the right thing. He takes a step forward, bridging the short distance between us, and then suddenly his fingers are around my wrist again. But he does not lace his fingers through mine. Instead, he takes my hands in his and then pulls it up to his face. Before I realize it, my hand is on his cheek, his hand cupping my own. Princess, you can trust me. Always. I mean, I can sense that sometimes you trust me and sometimes you don't. But you need not be so cautious around me. I shower you with compliments because I believe you deserve them. I tell you that I enjoy being around you because I do. I should be focusing on his words, but all I can do is look at all I can look at are his eyes. By the way, yeah, because even though we're in a medieval fantasy, I guess, world, he has like modern glasses. By the way, I don't know. When were glasses? I mean, I guess glasses aren't like they're not like a recent invention. There probably were glasses before, but I guess I don't know. But I guess in such a very modern make, I guess it's kind of weird to me. Even though we're like a medieval, maybe late medieval, really, late medieval fantasy kind of world. I don't know. What do I need to do for you to fully trust me? Mother told me that people lie, so how can I trust everything he says is the truth? Perhaps, if I stop throwing compliments at you, well, you would not be you without all the compliments. What am I saying? I always complain about his compliments, but the thought of a Rumpel without compliments is strange. I guess you got too used to him. So you do enjoy my compliments, sweet princess? No, it's more like you'll be out of character, if you didn't do it. No, why? What? Words have deserted you? I understand. Being so close to me would have that effect on any woman. Something bright and angry flares up inside of me, something that I don't understand. I pull my hand away from him, a scowl on my face. Was it my big mouth again, princess? Come on, let's go back to the Martian. I start walking ahead and Rumpel rushes to catch up with me. I clench my fingers and let out a silent sigh. Rumpel was being nice to me again, but I always reject his kindness, because it cannot be real. And look at him here in this transition screen. Look at him, he's so like, I don't know, ominous. Yeah, and yet he's not like that at all. At least normally anyway, I don't know. Days go by, I consider Rumpel's advice, but I refuse to flirt with anyone again. But I have no idea how to make anyone happy. Rumpel told me that I cannot make anyone happy without knowing anything about them, and listening to them like I did with Anise, but what reason do I have to listen to people? This is so frustrating. Days later, Rumpel and I sit at a table waiting for our work orders. Rumpel is on the verge of conversation when we suddenly hear Parfait speaking in the doorway. Rumpel picks up on the words before I do and rushes over to the front door. He looked almost nervous. Who's at the front door? I excuse myself briefly, telling Anise I will be back. I make my way over to the front door and there I see 3 people in conversation. There's Rumpel and Parfait and a very pale man. The pale man looks like death itself, like he might just keel over. He's the same man we flirted with. Or maybe not. It seems like, yeah, again, every generic character, they get the same recycled sprite, with no eyes again. Anyway. I can help him. Rumpel. He needs help. He can stay in my room instead. I can even restock the medicines on my own if need be, so please, let me help him. There is desperation in Rumpel's eyes that I've never seen before. He looks at Parfait pleadingly, all the while holding the man by the shoulder to steady him. What is happening? Oh, princess, this man heard about Rumpel through one of the men at the tavern. He's sick and doesn't have a lot of money to pay for the treatment. He came here seeking Rumpel. He must have been able to find his place because he was cursed. Does he even have the money to pay? Rumpel turns to me with a frown on his face. I've never seen him look at me so sternly. Princess, you remember what I told you before. He was insistent that the doctor's #1 priority was to help their patient, regardless of their monetary situation. Take him to your room then, Rumpel. I'll have Anise assist you if she's willing. No, Anise does not need to worry herself. I think she want to help you. The two cut their discussion short when the man starts coughing, a terrible hacking cough that paralyzes him. Rumpel steadies him and then begins to slowly move. And then he slowly. Why can't I talk? Rumpel steadies him and then he begins to slowly move him toward his room. Yeah. Don't worry, princess. He'll be fine. What? I can see the worry on your face. Rumpel will be fine. Why would I worry about Rumpel? Because it's not like you to worry about someone you don't know at all. He looks so alarmed. I never seen Rumpel look like that before. It's not like him. Rumpel knows what he's doing. I have someone else assist you with serving today, so no worries. Parfait comes through on her promise. When I go back to the bar, both Anise and Rumpel are gone. Karma, or Miss Karma, is there instead, looking disgruntled. Waltz will be better at this. Why do I have to help? Because Waltz is busy doing his puppet shows and Rumpel is helping a sick man. Oh. Well, I guess there's nothing to do about this then, other than enjoy it. He flips his hair and smiles brilliantly. I will attract all the customers today. Perhaps we should have a competition, princess. Compete with yourself. I'm really not in the mood for Karma right now. Ironically, even though we did just do his route the last time. Then I shall definitely compete with myself because challenging yourself is very important. Karma picks up waiting tables fairly easily. I notice that he speaks very fondly to the girls, but they're not as receptive as they are with Rumpel. Many times they ask Karma where Rumpel is, and he seems agitated when he tells them that Rumpel is busy. He seems just as irritated. Once my break starts, I meet Karma at the bar. He looks depressed. I guess if you and Rumpel competed to woo girls, he would win. Darling, if I were to shed my disguise right here and now, then I would be declared victor, but then you would be cheating, so you wouldn't be, winning by your own efforts, right? So it wouldn't feel as, satisfying. It would be a hollow victory. Well, since without this disguise, women would flock to me, it is rather uncomfortable to have everyone in Angier to fall in love with you. You look like you're judging me, princess. Because I am. If only you understood my plight. Well, we do, Karma. Or Claude. Karma and Rumpel may speak similarly, but they're still so different. Karma is the type to complain. Rumpel never complains. He's overworking himself for someone else, just like he went out of his way to apologize to me for many times. My heart sinks a little bit as I think of him, and he's helping out the sick man. Rumpel did not even want Anise going up there, so he probably wouldn't want me up there either. I could try to go visit him, or I could go back to my room. Let's just go back to our room, I guess? I don't know. I mean, we're not gonna do anything. We're not doctors, so what are we gonna do? So let's just go back to our room. I should not bother him. What was that, princess? It's nothing. If you don't want to bother Rumpel, you can always spend some time down here with me. I could give you some advice about your good deeds too. You. I stare at him. Karma puts a hand over his chest and sighs dramatically. I'm offended, princess. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice Delora looking expectantly at Karma. He notices her and then sighs out dramatically. If I had more time, I would give you advice. Karma walks off and I consider his words, and after a few moments I shake the words from my mind and start walking. Well, it's not the Karma route, so we're not going to do that. As I'm heading up to my room, I hesitate, knowing Rumpel's door is close by. Earlier he looked so stressed. I think I should go see him. Oh, okay, never mind. Our decision did not matter at all. I make my way over to what I think is Rumpel's door. The door is slightly ajar and I hear hushed voices on the other side. Those voices definitely belong to Anise and Rumpel. I slowly push the door open and quietly step inside. Rumpel and Anise are standing over the man, who is covered in blankets and coughing. A series of bottles sit on a table close by. None of the herbal remedies are working. We need a medicine for this. I'm sorry, I don't have any more money to offer, Rumpel. Anise, please don't sound so sad. You've already tried helping as much as you possibly can. It's my fault for promising to buy the medicine that we need. I glance at the table where the list is sitting. Beautiful cursive handwriting details everything that the patient needs. Everything is circled except for some medicine at the very bottom that has a star next to it. Is that Rumpel's handwriting? Suddenly, the two of them turn. They both look shocked to see me. Princess, what are you doing here? I came to see how you were doing. Princess, I'm fine, but... He glances down at the man in bed, and he sighs a little bit. We've given him what we can, but the one medicine that we need is something we can't afford. Well, how about we just steal it, you know? Just rob someone, it's fine. It's to save someone, right? So it's fine. Even with the money I'm getting from Lady Parfait, it isn't enough. I walk in the room and glance at the list. I look over the total for the medicine, and at the coins on the table that I hadn't noticed before. Did Rumpel use all his money for this stranger? What will happen if you don't get this medicine? Without this, the infection will spread and he could... He goes silent as the man starts coughing again. I can read the answer in his eyes, even if he won't say it. The man could be in terrible danger. He could even die. Rumpel looks defeated. He does not look like himself at all. I glance at the coins again, then at the list. Without a second thought, I grab both the list and the coins. I'm gonna take this money for my own. Bye-bye. No. Princess, what are you... I'll be back. I leave the room, even with my niece and Rumpel protesting behind me. I make my way to my room, where I pick up the bag of coins that the king gave me when I went to the palace on the day I was cursed. Then I head for the door. Alright, time to get some medicine. Apparently in this kingdom, there's no, like, I guess, free healthcare, you know? So, it's not paid for. Like America, I don't know. It's weird. I immediately head for the medicine store that we always frequent. I count out the coins I need to buy the medicine. And at the very least, you imagine, well, I don't know. You imagine, you know, at least the King Gennaro would, like, subsidize some medicine. Maybe, I guess not. I guess, I don't know, maybe living under the witch's rule, you know, medicine is just, like, not very common, so maybe it's expensive for a reason. It's not so easy to change to an economy where you can take care of the people and everything, you know? Anyway. This will take all of my money, but it wasn't as if I was going to use it for something else anyway. I rush back to the marshal with the medicine in a little bag, hoping that this is the one that Rumpel needed. Whoops! You know, you imagine, like, hey, about the medicine, whoops, it's the wrong medicine. Oh well. It is dark by the time I get back to the marshal. It would be devastating to just bring the wrong medicine, but we'll see. I make my way to Rumpel's room again and notice that he's sitting on a stool beside the patient's bed, looking at him forlornly. When I enter the room, his eyes go wide. He seems even more surprised when I hand him the bag. Princess, is this... He opens the bag and he lets the little vial roll into his hand. Okay. How did you buy this? I combined your total with the money I had left. Rumpel just stares at me, nearly flabbergasted, then his expression morphs into something softer, something more relieved. He steps forward and suddenly his arms are around me. He grips me tightly, and then I hear his voice in my ear. Thank you so much, Princess Lucette. My heartbeat picks up slightly. It's so loud I think Rumpel might hear it. When he pulls away, he does not say anything. I'll have to thank you for this later, Princess, but for now, you should leave. I don't want you to get sick. Maybe you could get sick, though. I don't know. You thought about that? Are we gonna need more medicine later on when you get sick? I don't know. I'm too dazed to disagree. I nod my head quietly before moving stiffly toward the door. I glance back at Rumpel one last time, noticing that he's checking the man's temperature. So hopefully we got the right medicine. The moment I leave the room, a flash of light emanates from my chest. Oh, okay, so it's a good deed. Amazing. I absently touch the glass slipper in my neck and then pause as I stare down at it. I feel a soft gasp leave my lips when I notice a fragment of a second slipper. Yeah, okay. I got my first good deed. I bought the medicine with Rumpel, but only added in a few more coins to buy it. So what I did today was considered a good deed? I'm confused, but at the same time, I'm pleased that I actually managed to get a good deed. Now I only need 2 more. The next day I go down to the tavern area to get my work. I'm there a little bit early. Waltz is working on his puppets at a table, eyebrows furrowed in concentration. When I walk in, he looks up at me and smiles. Then he raises his eyebrows. Princess, congratulations! You got your first good deed. I did. I knew you could do it. I nod in response. His praise makes me feel oddly proud. I continue my usual work, keeping an eye out for Rumpel as I work my shift, but he never appears. A few days goes by, and it's only after the man leaves, looking a lot healthier and stable than he was before, that I finally see Rumpel. He and the man speak at the front door to the tavern. No, really, sir, I couldn't take anything from you. Nonsense, you saved my life. I need to pay you back somehow. The man is holding money out to Rumpel, but Rumpel just shakes his head. I notice that there are dark circles under his eyes and that he looks tired. I didn't help you for the money. But I insist. The money could be spent on better things, like your family. You may not take my money, but I promise I will pay you back. Your help is all the reward I need. I promise. I can't thank you enough. After the man leaves, I approach Rumpel. He turns to me and leans against the door. His smile is still tired but bright. Ah, princess, come to heal my weary body, perhaps? I would so love another hug. My face becomes hot at the memory of Rumpel's hug from the other day. Ah, the natural rogue. Rouge? Yeah, rouge of your cheeks is so sweet, princess. It makes me feel infinitely better. Yeah, I always mix it up, I feel like it's a common typo to have like rogue and rouge, because there's a U there between the G and the E. Mix that up sometimes. And your necklace seems different. I reach up to touch the pendant. Now every time I get a good deed, a piece gets added to my necklace. Alright, you helped with the medicine the other day. Of course that was a good deed, princess. It was very selfless of you. Thank you again for that. But that man tried to thank you too, but you refused his money. Why? Why did you spend your money on him? Well, because life is invaluable, princess. No amount of money could ever be more important than a person's life. Even if it is something or someone you do not know, he may have been like a serial killer. You don't know that. You don't know that. He might have been like a mass murderer that murdered everyone or something, and then you saved him and he goes on to kill more people, you don't know that. I don't know. Maybe not. Yes, because everyone has a life, princess. They have loved ones, families, sweethearts. And if I can help them, I will. I will gladly spend any amount of money to do so. Okay, fine, but why did you not accept any money from that man? Because no amount of money. You needed that money. How are you going to buy more medicines without any more money? Rumpel's eyes widen. He was clearly not expecting me to ask that question. But he said before he didn't have much money, and it was true. I can't take money from him when he doesn't have much of it to begin with. He was thanking you with money. You should have accepted it. Our fate pays you, does she not? Rumpel's shoulders sag when he sighs. Yes, and even though I won't accept the money from her face to face, it has to sneak into my wallet. If she does that, why not just accept it from her? I'm trying to make a statement, princess. And Parfait does not seem to care because she sneaks the money into your wallet regardless. You have a point there. You're stubborn. We both are. Seems like everyone is stubborn. Rod is stubborn, Claude is stubborn, now Rumpel is stubborn, everyone is stubborn. We're all stubborn together. Now I have a question. Why did you use your money on that man? You knew nothing about him. Well, we did it for you, buddy. Because you were sad. Did you do it for him? For yourself? Or for me, perhaps? Rumpel grins at me mischievously. Even with tired eyes, I can still see the bright cheer in them. Hit the nail right on the head again. You're becoming easier to read, my sweet princess. Well, no matter what you did, why you did it, thank you. That medicine wasn't necessary to help that man. I still think you should have accepted the money from him. You helped him, and you did him a service no one else would. You should have accepted his gratitude. Princess, I told you. I crossed my eyes and frowned at him. Or, crossed my eyes? No, crossed my arms. You're so stubborn. Rumpel's smile falters, and he just looks at me sadly, almost guiltily. For some reason, the sight of him in such a state makes my heart sink. Wipe off that frown. You look better with a smile. Rumpel stares at me shocked. Why is he staring at me like that? You like my smile? What? I did not say I... You like my smile, and you complimented it too. Princess, you have no idea how much this means to me. Rumpel throws his hands in the air, and I resist the urge to roll my eyes at the exaggerated reaction. You get compliments all the time from women. Yes, but none as honest as yours. That compliment is valuable because I know you absolutely meant it. And so I will keep those words close to my heart because they are so precious to me. It wasn't anything like the spectacular compliments he gives, yet he still looks so happy. You know, I keep saying compliment. How do you say compliments or compliments? The spectacular compliments. I don't know, is that the right way to pronounce it? Compliment? Compliments? I don't know. You two seem to be getting along. Parfait appears behind us with a smile on her face. Sorry to interrupt, but Karma is slowly drowning in table work. Would you help him? Yes, of course. Rumpel looks disappointed as I am sent back to the bar, but Karma expresses immediate relief that I am back. Rumpel retires to a room early that day and is given the day off. Both Delora and Parfait can see the tiredness on his face just like I can. He does not appear for the rest of the day, and at the end of my shift, I retire to my room. When I get downstairs the next morning, I am met with a familiar sight. Both Karma and Rumpel stand on opposite sides of a table, their voices rising in argument. Okay, oh no, not again. They're fighting again. I happen to catch their words as I walk quietly down the stairs. Who are you to criticize my work ethic when you were gone for several days, leaving me with your workload? It wasn't like I wanted to, and who are you to criticize how I work? All the ladies I spoke to said that you shower them with compliments. What kind of a professional behavior is that? I'm having a hard time believing you're professional with the way that you flaunt yourself. At least I don't flirt with people to attract their attention. You say some sly things, Miss Karma, and you're the biggest liar of us all. At least I don't lie to my partner. Should we defend Rumpel? Or should we watch from afar? I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't intervene. Maybe they should work it out themselves. I don't know. If we intervene, it might make things worse. Let's just watch from afar. This is their fight. I have no reason to jump in to defend anyone. I watch her fight from the middle of the staircase. The two of them never seem to notice me standing there. I have never lied to the princess. Sometimes my people might assume different intentions on my flattery, but I never lie. That's exactly what a liar would say to himself when he knows that he's been caught. Liar? The only liar here is you. Excuse me, how have you know that I never lie? And what's this about Miss Karma, One moment you say it's disguise, the next moment you say... Rumpel flinches back as Karma stands taller and clenches his hands to fists. I begin to work my way down the staircase. I come to a stop in between the two men, who seem surprised to see me. I'm about to speak, but the sound of footsteps distracts me. You two are at it again! Julian stops at the table and frowns at them. Both men glance away from her cold gaze. Karma murmurs something before excusing himself. I don't know, because we know Karma's story, so I feel like, stop fighting. You both have your reasons. Stop fighting. Rumpel looks down at the table, his eyebrows knit together with frustration. What is wrong with you two? Why can't you just be civil with each other? Julian, you're never here to see how these fights start. Karma is every bit of a beast. That can be for no good reason at all, but with your keen eye, you should be able to discern that, right? Flattery won't work on me, Rumpel, and second, I doubt these fights start with any bit of prompting from you. I swear I don't start anything. Karma is just always irritable. He's like a woman doing it that one time of the month. My God. No, this is partly the reason I don't like this guy. Julian walks away stiffly, leaving me with Rumpel. I look at him, a little irritated by his earlier comment. He gives me a sheepish smile. A princess, or rather, it's Annie's actually. Princess, can you give me some help with the inventory? I'm coming. As I turn away, Rumpel waves. I'll see you later, princess. Who knows, you might get your second good deed. I resist the urge to roll my eyes. Feels like it'll be a while yet before I can achieve my next good deed. Especially the way he acts. Strings of Fate. Reminds me of the three sisters of fate. What a brilliant day, the sun is shining, the town is full of laughter, and I have my sweet princess here to accompany me. It sounds like I'm getting easier to read too. Well, you just said it enough times that I memorized it. That means you must pay attention to my words. That in itself is a compliment, princess. It's not. We're on our way to the usual store to restock our medications when a small figure leads out through the front door. Okay, interesting. A character that has eyes that we've never seen before. She stares at us with a lost look on her face. Rumpel reacts immediately, making his way over to her with a broad smile. Madam, I can't help but notice the pain expression upon your beautiful face. Is there anything I can do to assuage your worries? Is that how you say it? Assuage? Assuage? I don't know. For seeing your lovely face shadowed by such sadness stabs me right in the heart. I have a feeling this woman knows Rumpel. Well, anyway, the woman stares at Rumpel, dumbfounded. His smile wavers and he takes a step back, suddenly looking alarmed. Oh, I'm sorry. It's you. Huh? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, this is awkward, madam, but I'm afraid I don't know you. What? Or do I? Do I know you? I take a step forward and look at the woman flatly. He has been cursed. He has amnesia. Amnesia? The woman stares at Rumpel, scrutinizing him. You do seem different. Changed from before, in any case? So you knew me before. How terrible it is for me to forget such a lovely face, but perhaps you can help me remember? The usual flirty suggestion in his voice, but the woman seems unaffected. I can help you remember. You can. It is no wonder I can't remember your name. You have the fairytale curse, don't you? Who is this woman? You truly don't remember me? I'm sorry. The woman looks conflicted, but the expression is gone as fast as it appears. I'm Ria. Your fiancé. Oh. Okay. Nani? The shock is apparent on my face, but nowhere near as impressive as the astonishment on Rumpel's face. My fiancé? He has to be lying. How can Rumpel possibly have a fiancé with the way that he is? He's barely able to dedicate himself to a single woman for an hour. Ria takes a step forward and takes Rumpel's hands in her own. You don't remember holding my hands like this when you took me to the forest and proposed to me? Rumpel opens his mouth, but no words escape. He reminds me of a lost dog all of a sudden, with his eyes so wide. Ria runs her fingers over his hands. I loved you, and you loved me, and I still love you very much. Okay, well this is gonna be complicated. I don't remember this. How can I help you remember? Rumpel's voice is faint, but he still tries to smile. The circumstances of the curse tell me that I need to remember through memories and a journal somehow. A journal? I have your old journals. I can show you the very first love letter you wrote me. Ria starts walking, her hands still clasped in Rumpel's. I stare after them for a few moments, trying to piece together what is happening in my head. I chase after them. I don't even say like what's happening. Ria enters a house, one that Rumpel stares at in awe. When she comes back out, she's holding a journal. She hands it to Rumpel and then opens up the first page. This is a little embarrassing, but there it is. You compile your letters in the journal. Rumpel slowly reads over the words, but I notice the strange glazed look come back to his eyes as his expression grows more somber. This is like last time, when he remembered that he was a doctor. Ria turns to me as Rumpel is reading, and her eyebrows arch. And who are you? I'm his wife? His partner. Partner? We are helping each other with our curses. Oh, you're cursed too. Oh, you poor thing. Ria's voice is flat. She's glaring at me beneath her smile. Oh, okay. She's being a bitch, isn't she now? I've done nothing to merit this distrust from her, and I cannot bring myself to trust her either. Ria. Rumpel looks up from the journal and stares at her. Yes, sweet? Rumpel's melancholy expression throws me off. Last time he was so excited when he realized he was a doctor, but now his expression is heartbreaking. I remember. I did propose to you. In the forest, when it was dark, You set up little lights around the clearing. We spoke for a while, and then when you got down on your knee, you dropped the ring. It had fallen in the roots of some tree. We only noticed when a bird came down to pluck it out of the bramble. I had no idea that you were looking for it, but I still chased after the bird. And you got the ring back, and you knew. Rhea holds out her hand. I noticed a beautiful red-green gem ring on her ring finger. Right there. Amazing. It was still charming, though. I laughed for so long because it felt so memorable. Plucking your engagement ring out of a bird's beak. You're right. Rumpel smiles, a little uncertainly. At that moment, I feel him turn away from me. He's not even realized I'm there, standing with Rhea. Why? I'm feeling so uncomfortable. You said you were helping Rumpel with his curse, yes? He turns to me. There's no worry. I can help him now. That is what couples do. You can just, screw off now. Goodbye, little one. I have to force the pity out of my heart. I have to force myself to think rationally. Something still seems off about this, but Rumpel remembers. Which means that this is the truth, isn't it? Maybe so. Maybe we shouldn't intervene if she truly is his fiancée and everything. So, alright, let's go home. Bye-bye. This is the truth. There's nothing I can do about it. Don't worry, dear. I can help fill in the gaps for him, and his germs are at our house. You probably already helped him by simply being there for him this entire time. Tell me, what do you go by now? Until we figure out your name, I need something to call you. Rumpel. He looks so dejected, so sad. His eyes flick to me briefly, then back to Bria. He smiles, but I know Rumpel enough that I can tell it's a forced smile. And my partner, Lucette. She has helped me. Bria's cold gaze falls on me, and I can sense something in them that surprises me. Jealousy? Why would she be jealous of me? Rumpel, would you maybe want to come back home with me? What? I know you must be overwhelmed, but our home might be able to help you remember some things. I'm sorry. I actually have a patient somewhere else that I need to tend to. Bria's eyes flash briefly. Her frown is there for a few seconds before she smiles again. Well, you're always good with your patients. I'm sorry. It's okay. I understand that you're overwhelmed. But remember, now I am here for you too. I want to mend things and make them go back to what they were before. How about you look over that journal and then we meet again tomorrow? We can take this one step at a time. I would like that. We can get to know each other again, and in time I'm sure you'll remember what we used to have. I loved you. And I did too. And I still do. A slight shiver runs down my spine as I stare at the two of them. There's that uncomfortable feeling once again. Rhea and Rumpel agree on the spot to meet tomorrow, and then she leans up to kiss Rumpel on the cheek. He puts a hand on his cheek as she walks off with a gentle smile on her face. Are you okay? He looks at me, and for a few moments, I feel that his gaze lingers longer than it normally does on my own eyes. Then he smiles and laughs. Of course I am, Princess. I just remember something about my own past. I'm guessing that the second entry that appeared in my journal by now, or had appeared in my journal by now. I can't wait to get back to the Martian to read it. Bria has the rest of my journal, so I might truly be able to remember everything if I talk to her. Including your love for her. He sighs out. Before he proclaims that we should finish our errands, I follow him around the town, though the scenery lacks its usual vibrancy. Rumpel doesn't speak to anyone, not even the girls. While we walk, he keeps his eyes focused on the ground, and when he speaks to the shop owners, his cheer is lukewarm at best. I try to start a conversation with him many times, but he shies away from talking. I feel like there is something he's not telling me, Yeah, I imagine normally he would be ecstatic, Even though despite being a playboy, the fact that he has a fiancée and they're lovers, maybe something is not right. You know, we'll see. When we arrive, the Martian Rumpel quickly excuses himself, not even sharing his epiphany about his past with anyone. What has him so bent out of shape? He's regained another memory. I'm assuming he's gonna go read about it now. Not like him to hide things. Hope Rumpel's okay. Look at him, ominous. You know, I wonder. I don't know. Is he evil? I wonder if one of these routes, or one of these routes, whatever, one of these paths, maybe one of these boys are actually really evil. I don't know. Maybe they're like super evil. What happened then? Maybe not. I don't know. It seems like I know. It seems like Rod, you know, is a good person, and Claude is like a good person for the most part. Rumpel, I don't know. Rumpel is a good person, at least for his memories anyway. But maybe he did something bad in the past. He's a doctor though, so like I don't know. Anyway, it's been about a week since Rumpel regained his last memory. He's been meeting with Bria since then. But he still hasn't told me about the memory from the journal. He's not flirting with any girls, and when he sees me, his smile looks broken. He spends his day visiting Bria and tending the parfait. Not flirting with any girls, not being a playboy, it's weird, it's out of character, oh no. You know, anytime like anime characters not acting like they're like themselves, you know, for them, like at least the way they're introduced, then it's something's wrong, you know. That's always gonna be the case. You're worried about Rumpel, aren't you? Why would I be worried about him? Because Rumpel is no longer be able to run errands with me, Waltz decided to take his place. But Waltz's presence cannot make up for Rumpel's absence. He'll be fine, Princess. He's still figuring things out. I do not trust that woman. His fiancée? She appeared out of nowhere. People who aren't cursed can't find a tavern, Princess. She would never have been able to find him. So really the only place she could have met was out here in nowhere. I could tell that he's teasing me, but it does little to lift my spirits. I know. Waltz sighs. If you don't trust her, why not just ask around for her? He obviously does not want to talk to me. No, I mean ask others about her. So long as you find a way to phrase your intentions honestly, I think they might understand you. Rumpel says my honesty is good, but I also know that the way I speak frustrates many people. Come on, I'll help. Alright. Waltz approaches a flower shop where several people are gathered to look at the fresh flowers. We're gonna go snooping around, you know? Do a background check on this Bria person, maybe. Excuse me, madam, sir. I was wondering if you knew anything about someone named Bria. We hear that she's engaged to a friend of ours, but he hasn't said much about her. Everyone calls me blunt, but I would never question others so openly. Does Waltz really expect people to be so open to him? You know, maybe, I don't know, maybe, like he's been around town, you know, for a while. And also he's a kid, so maybe people are more open to him because of that. At least he looks like a kid. Oh, it isn't Waltz. Doing a little investigative work, are you? Just looking to find out more about the person, someone important to a friend. Oh, not going to put this into one of your shows, are you? Waltz raises an eyebrow and laughs. Of course not. Oh, everyone just trusts Waltz. I suppose he must speak to people often, being a performer. They would probably never suspect Waltz to do anything morally questionable. And yet with me, there were suspicions of everything that I did. I guess it's a good thing Waltz is here. I stifle a sigh as the so-called investigation begins. Investigation started! But Bria, I was under the impression that her fiancé wasn't seeing her anymore. Oh, Bria, oh, poor Bria. I hear that the poor dear made a mistake and that her fiancé threw her out for it. Is she engaged to someone new now? I'm not surprised, given the affair that she had on her first fiancé. Oh, she had an affair? Okay, so yeah, she probably taking advantage of the situation. Excuse me, what did you just say? Oh, you aren't aware? I'm terribly sorry, perhaps I shouldn't have said anything. You said she cheated on her first fiancé. She was engaged to some man, a doctor, I believe. He was a good man, always smiled, helped everyone, including the poor. I don't see how you would have the gall to do it, but the rumors state that she was seeing another man. I think you saw them out together sometimes. He was a rich businessman, do it for the money. Who was he? I believe he's one of the doctor's patients. Oh, right. Did anyone see this for sure, man? Oh, lots of people did, and that's why the poor man stopped seeing her, bless his heart. He looked heartbroken. But then the two of them were engaged, so she should have been more committed to them. When Bria first approached Rumpel, she had no idea he had amnesia. She started apologizing to him. Was it for that affair, or am I just speculating? We thanked the woman for her help before continuing to ask around town for more information. The more we hear, the more certain we become. He cheated on her. Princess, I know what you're thinking, but it would be incredibly rash to tell Rumpel about this. She's lying to him. I can still remember the sadness in his eyes. Maybe somewhere deep down he still knows. Did his journal entry not say anything? Yeah, I mean, I think he does. That's why he's acting so strange. He's thinking that maybe he should return to his old life, despite the fact that his fiancée, cheated on him. I guess for the money. I assume it's more complicated than the fact that she just wanted a new man. I think it's the fact that she cheated on for money. It's because his work doesn't get him a lot of money. She wanted money for together. She wanted money for him as well. Maybe, I don't know. It was a bit complicated. I don't know. But then again, I don't know. We'll see, I guess. You can try talking him, Princess, but without any evidence, we're just gonna go off rumors. If you're wrong, I think that would hurt the situation a lot more. I'm forced to acknowledge Waltz's reasoning. As much as I want to tell Rumpel right now, I do not even know where he is. We finish our errands for the day and then return to the Martian, where I complete my chores around the tavern before retiring to bed. Alright, so we have new information. I don't know, are we gonna I don't know, what's that show? What's that show where they basically call out cheaters, and they do a lie test or whatever, even though a liar test doesn't actually really work, or lying, the lie detector test or whatever. What's it called? I mean, was it Dr. Phil, or whatever, reality show where they bring down the wife or the husband and they see hey, is your partner cheating on you? Let's do a lie detector test, and then it says, oh, they are, and they go, oh no, and things happen or whatever. Even though I'm pretty sure most of it is fake or at least exaggerated, because lie detector tests aren't real, or at least, there is some logic to it. They do detect, a baseline, and they detect, whether you're nervous when you answer a certain question, but it's not 100%, does it really detect a lie? But anyway. But yeah. Alright. Let's go confront her, maybe.